Hello, dear viewers. Namaskar. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Hiramat. We think of Vedas and Upanishads so many times. Most of our thoughts in India are based on the different schools of thoughts. It may be theistic and non-theistic. India is not limited to or confined to any one philosophy or any one school of thoughts. It also think of atheistic and theistic schools of thoughts without any partiality. So this kind of thought makes India a unique country in the world. There are some countries, they only think of theism, rejecting completely atheism. There are other countries, they think of atheism, rejecting theism completely. But in India, it has places for atheism and theism and so many other kinds of thoughts. And I have already told it in one of episodes, and our title, Shaddarshanas. That is schools of thoughts. Today, I would like to tell you something about the school of Utthara Mimaamsa. This Utthara Mimaamsa school of thought is also called as Vedanta. Vedanta also called as Upanishads. So, these Upanishads play a prominent role in molding Indian thoughts, whether theistic or atheistic. Most of the sects and so-called religions are based on these Vedas, Agamas and Upanishads. Some of them accept Vedas and others reject those Vedas. They question the authority of Vedas. And Upanishads maintain a kind of balance as and when it is required regarding these things. In Upanishads, we can see the thoughts of theism and also thoughts of atheism and also the combination of theism and atheism in its own ways. Therefore, these Vedantas, that is Uttara Mimaamsa, plays a prominent role in the Indian philosophy and in Indian way of thoughts and in Indian lifestyle. So, this Vedanta considers Vedas as Apaurushaya. Badarayana is the main defender of this school of thought. And of course, these Vedantas say the end of Vedas in one way or another way. That means they concentrate on the knowledge part of the Vedas, denying the practices of Vedas, denying the rituals of Vedas to an extent. So here lies the difference. We have so many types of thoughts in India, but these thinkers have their own freedom. In other countries, you should confine to this thought or that thought. Otherwise, you should not live there. That is the condition. But in India, we cannot see. India shelters the theistic as well as atheistic cultures also. It does not confine to any one kinds of schools of thoughts. So, it welcomes the knowledge wherever it is. In accumulating knowledge, in accumulating information and knowledge, it opens its windows but not the doors. Whatever knowledge it may be, it welcomes from whatever sect, from whatever religion, from whatever caste, from whatever tribes, from whatever it may be. That is the appreciating attitude of Indian culture and civilization. So these Utthara Mimaamsas or Vedantas are an example to this understanding of religions, philosophies toward the world. That's why we have seen so many types of cultures and civilization in their own ways, but living a life of peace, calm and quietness, adjusting with each other. But this type of culture, this type of attitude cannot be seen in other countries, even in the 20th or 21st century. But India is an exception to this. That's why sometimes it is said, India is not a nation, it is a kind of universe. It's a kind of world. You can see every type of culture, every type of lifestyle in India. Here, freedom is there, but that freedom should not go beyond a limit. That is what we have seen it also. So, the different schools of thoughts are born and bred in India. Whether it is non-dualistic monism or unique non-dualistic monism or dualistic or energetic non-dualistic monism. All these thoughts are there in India. In addition to that, we have different thoughts which are propagated in names of Jainism, Buddhism, and atheism, etc., etc. Of course, in this Utthara Mimaamsa, we have seen so many types of schools. I already told you the dualistic, that is non-dualistic monism is also rooted in southern India. Unique non-dualistic monism is also rooted in India, in South India. The energetic non-dualistic monism is also rooted, born and bred in southern part of India, and dualism is also born and bred in southern part of India. That is, almost all these schools of thoughts are born and bred in southern India. Non-dualistic monism is born in Kerala, and unique non-dualistic monism is also born in Tamil Nadu. And energetic non-dualistic monism is also born in Karnataka, and dualistic is also born and bred in Karnataka. So then, these schools of thoughts are spread to other parts of India. Of course, these different schools find out their ancestors in Shaiva devotees and Vaishnava devotees. In Shaiva we have so many streams. In Vaishnava we have also so many streams. But this Utthara Mimaamsa gives importance to knowledge part of Vedas, but not the rituals. That is the speciality of this Utthara Mimaamsa. So, these things, whether they are jumped from one schools of thought to other schools of thoughts, or from other schools of thoughts, or to another schools of thoughts, it is different. But we can see there is a kind of liberality, there is a kind of flexibility in their adaptations, in their understanding, in spreading them to the other parts of the world. So they are appeared at a different stage of the society. For instance, the energetic non-dualistic monism is appeared in the 9th century and Shivayogi Shivacharya preached it to Agastya, then it is told Agastya taught it to Shankaracharya. That is what we have seen it in some of the books. And there is also other saying, there is also that non-dualistic monism is also preached in the 10th century, and Shankaracharya is the preceptor, according to some of the people, according to some of the philosophers or religionists. And then in the 11th century, we have Ramanuja, we have this unique non-dualistic Vaishnavite cult, which is originated in Karnataka, which is originated in Tamil Nadu, and got sheltered in Karnataka later on. And then dualistic school of thought is also born and bred in India in 13th century in the coastal area of Karnataka. So Karnataka is a place for two schools of thoughts, that is the two sects. Then those sects caught the heart of the people and they become religions according to some philosophers. That is energetic non-dualistic monism and dualistic are born and bred in the land of Karnataka. And non-dualistic monism and unique non-dualistic monism, Vaishnavism is also born and bred in southern part of, that is in Tamil Nadu and Kerala of southern India. Anyhow, with all these buts, with all these philosophical thoughts, we can see there is a flexibility. So that flexibility, that liberality is there because of these Vedantas, these Upanishads, because Upanishads give importance to flexibility and liberality. They concentrate on the knowledge part of other schools of thoughts, but are not the ritualistic part of the thoughts. So, due to the knowledge part of the concentration, the flexibility is flown, the flexibility is established, the liberality is established. That sort of freedom is there in Indian philosophical thought, which cannot be seen, which cannot be found in other thoughts of in other parts of the world. That is why Indians should be proud of this part of knowledge, this part of understanding, this part of liberality and flexibility, because of these Vedantas, because of the persons like Balarayana and etc. So, while studying, while thinking of Indian schools of thoughts and their attitude, their understanding, their concentration on the knowledge part of the Agamas and Upanishads and etc., we should keep in our mind this liberality. Then only we can come to know the importance and greatness of this part of Indian culture and civilization. And no one person is found in a religion. In other countries, a person is found this religion or that religion, but it cannot be said of India. There are many religions in India, many sects, many religions, many sects are turned into religions in India, but they are not found by any one person. They are found by so many rishis, munis, that is the sages, philosophers, thinkers, and so many persons. So we cannot say this religion is found by this person and that religion is found by that person. If you feel that, if you say that, that becomes an un-Indian philosophical thought. So that should not become an Indian, because that type of thought is not there in India. So any of this person or that person might be contributed something less or something more or less to the development of that sect or religion, sect turned into religion. But that doesn't mean that person itself or that person himself is the founder of this religion and that religion. If anyone says this religion is founded by that and this, automatically we should keep in our mind, we should say authoritatively or outrightly, they have not understood the Indian philosophy properly. They have not understood the Indian culture and civilization properly. And somewhere their thought is diverted by by the influence of the foreign cultures and civilizations. Of course, foreign culture and civilization is not Indian culture and civilization. Indian culture and civilization is entirely different from foreign culture and civilization, because they give importance to a person, and this person found that religion and that person found that religion, but that is not an Indian. We do not say in India, because a founding of a school or establishing a school of thought is by so many persons, is by so many brilliant, genuine thinkers, practitioners, rishis, munis, sages, and so many other persons, and that is human lovers, etc., etc. So, this Utthara Mimaamsa, that is Vedanta, says this. That is why the Upanishads, Vedantas become the base for modern India. There are hundreds of Vedanta, there are hundreds of Vedantas, there are hundreds of these Upanishads. I have dealt it in so many episodes. Nearly I have dealt it with 20 or 22 Upanishads. But there are so many other Upanishads, hundreds of Upanishads, which have to be dealt on and on. So, we have to keep this in our mind while thinking of this Uttara Mimaamsa, that is Vedanta. I hope I have brought home the truth to you. Subscribe and share it. See you in the next episode. Thank you. Namaskar.